Okay, I'm here today at Family Crisis Center, and I'm meeting with Charlotte. And Charlotte, I'm going to ask you some questions about what you do with Family Crisis Center here in Bastrop. And first of all, what is the purpose of your organization, Family Crisis Center?
The purpose of the Family Crisis Center, which actually was created in 1981 out of coalition of neighbors, like-minded individuals coming together, meeting around a kitchen table here in this community and addressing the issues of domestic violence and sexual assault within the community and how services could be brought to those victims. I've been here at the center for 15 years. I'm the fundraiser, and I've done advocacy work for over 20 years.
Wow. Okay. So you've seen it for a long time then of what they've done.
Time.
Okay. And why is this organization needed?
This organization is needed. We are considered a rural service agency. Our services extend Bastrop, Colorado, Fayette, and Lee counties.
Oh, wow.
So we have a very large 4-county service area with satellite offices in Columbus, LaGrange, and Giddings. This is our main office here in Bastrop. But the Family Crisis Center and shelters and service centers like us exist today so that we can bring a wide range of comprehensive services to those who have experienced domestic violence or sexual assault.
Wow. Okay. So it's something that you have seen. How long has this organization been in operation here?
1981, and then incorporated as a nonprofit in 1983.
Oh, wow. So
we are one of the older nonprofits here in Bastrop, and known on a state level for the work that we do because we've been doing it for quite a while.
Okay. Now you also have do you have the women's shelter?
We do.
Okay.
We are Bastrop County Women's Shelter, DBA Family Crisis Center.
Okay.
So we do have an emergency shelter. We also have a supportive housing apartment complex.
Okay, so wow, so you have a lot of people trained in these positions that do these things?
We do. We have shelter advocates, we have crisis advocates, we have counselors, we have a wonderful prevention education team that's out in all 4 counties in the school districts, working kindergarten through senior high school with students, doing education and hopefully prevention work.
Right.
But also, just being a reinforcement and a support for those kids in the community.
You're right. And as I told you earlier, I connected with the school I taught at, Gateway, where I actually worked with some of the prevention educators, and they did a marvelous job.
Marvelous job.
Yeah, and really, and we were hitting a population group of students that had experienced a number of things. And also we had the dating violence education part also.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we were preventing some things from happening.
Absolutely. As we all know, you can turn on the news, open a magazine, or get on the internet any day of the week, any hour of the day, and see we're at epic levels of dating violence, sexual harassment, and domestic violence in our homes.
Yeah, it's certainly out there, and certainly something that needs to be addressed in different ways. Now, what is your specific role with this organization?
I have the pleasure of being the fundraiser.
Okay, that's what you said earlier, so I really did get that
Yes,
part.
although,
Okay.
we're all kind of cross-trained to work where we need to work and
Okay.
cover for each other. And, that's one of the great joys of working here is that every day is going to be a little bit different. We are going to deal with things that the average person does not wake up nor go to sleep thinking about each day. But we're fortunate enough to have passionate people in their roles here. And we are the folks that go to bed at night and wonder how many are going to go into shelter tonight, who's going to have to leave their home, what hospital might we have to show up for a sexual assault exam,
Wow.
How many protective orders will we do tomorrow. Those are the things that we as staff go to bed at night thinking about and wake up in the morning thinking about.
Right.
That Joe Public does not.
Right. Wow. Now, how can people help out in this organization?
There are many ways to help out, not only our nonprofit, but many nonprofits here in the Bastrop
Mhm.
and surrounding area. You know, of course, most people will tell you donors, 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 but there's many behind the scenes ways to help as well if one is not in a position to be a hefty donor,
Okay.
if you will.
Right.
Volunteer opportunities, we have everything from being trained to be a hotline volunteer in the comfort of your own home,
Oh, wow. Okay.
to being a volunteer at our thrift store, Bits and Pieces. We use volunteers in our fundraising. We use volunteers here in our office to help us with some clerical and administration tasks.
Now, I imagine for the hotline especially that there has to be some special
There
training.
is a very
involved.
comprehensive 40-hour training.
Okay.
We can do those during the day or gear it towards a group if it's better suited for evening hours.
Okay.
But a hotline volunteer is basically a crisis advocate when they complete their training, and they screen those hotline calls. They have an advocate that's on duty. They have access to that advocate. They are not transporting clients. They are screening calls, maybe calling the shelter to leave messages for clients, but basically being there and being that first line of picking up the phone and saying, how can we help you?
Wow.
Assessing that call,
Mhm.
getting with their crisis advocate, so if that person needs to go into shelter, needs to be seen at a hospital, then that can take place.
Okay. So are there certain qualifications that the person would need for, say, something like that, or to actually even apply?
You know, I would think, for a hotline volunteer, one of probably the best qualifications you can have is to be a good listener.
Okay.
But other than that, the training is very attainable. We certainly don't have you out picking up people or dropping them
Okay.
off.
All right. Good.
But there is some training involved. You need to be able to assess that crisis call and truly understand what that person needs.
Now, I imagine it being here, the location where we're at, being bilingual would certainly
Being bilingual is
would
a
be
huge
huge.
plus.
Yeah, plus.
Absolutely. On our crisis team, we do have bilingual advocates.
Okay.
And also in our counseling, because we want to be able to bridge any language barrier and offer services. We also partner with the deaf community if we need translation or
Okay.
TTY service for the
Great.
deaf.
Wow. Sounds like you have a lot of the things covered in about every way you can. Now, what is the vision, you would say, for this organization?
Well, several years ago, collectively as staff, we came together and reorganized our mission and our vision statement. And our vision is we envision a safe community built on equality without the existence of violence.
Well, that sums it up really very concisely. Okay.
Yes.
Well, great. Well, Charlotte, I've really enjoyed visiting with you here today, and I really think that our people, and when I share this with them, are really going to find ways that they can participate with your organization. And
That would be great. Other volunteer opportunities can include Christmas drive for our shelter children and adults. Right now, our food pantry desperately needs food.
Mhm.
We're always needing diapers, wipes, and daily hygiene products.
So are you connected with the Bastrop Food Pantry?
We do referrals back and forth. We
Okay.
partner with a lot of the other nonprofits here in Bastrop because certain times we may be working with a family who's receiving services from Family Crisis
Exactly.
Center, Children's Advocacy Center,
Right.
maybe the food pantry. So we all try to work in tandem together so that families get the help and the support that they need and they're not left falling through the cracks.
Okay. Well, very good. Now, is there an application form probably to be a volunteer?
There is. You can stop into the office or give us a call. We'd be glad to mail out an application.